Gotta get more followers.
Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Futures Trader here. Today's video, gonna be doing a lot of Q&A, guys. This video, I thought it would just be a quick video I could fire off yesterday. Joke was on me. I did some trading, I did some Q&A. The video, though, didn't come out well just because the questions were kind of just all over the place, and the audio was horrible. Really wasn't savable. And then I tried to re-record it last night, and I thought I'd fix the audio. I had not. I made it a bit better, but not quite. So I think I've got the audio as good as it's going to get. If you're wondering why all of a sudden my audio is goofed up, I'm on somewhat of a summer vacation in a different part of Canada for the next month, visiting relatives, family, doing all that type of stuff. But I did bring my entire computer set up. So of course I can record videos and trade. But in setting it all up, somehow the audio settings got goofed up. So that was the story there. Not that most of you probably care, but the benefit to you guys is it allowed me to think about the questions a little bit more and also organize them. So in this video, I'll put timestamps down below to each of the questions, but I've also kind of grouped them into different categories, like general miscellaneous, Jigsaw questions, mobile trading questions, trader evaluations, trading in general, etc. So, but you can look for those links below. I'm going to try to not edit this video. I seriously just want to talk for an hour and just answer all the questions. So I apologize up front if there's just weird noises or I need to pause, take a drink of water. After, being the third time I'm recording this video, I'm kind of looking forward to just recording it, doing the lightest of edits, put my goblin up front, and fire this thing off on YouTube so I can go about my day. So before we do get to the questions, of course, I've got more preamble. Of course, you're looking at Jigsaw. Not planning on doing any trading right now. It's currently 7:40 Eastern time, so Treasury market doesn't open for another 40 minutes. We will get to see the open, though. I suspect this video will take more than 40 minutes, but plan isn't to trade. This is just for you to look at while I go through all these questions. 4th of July is coming up this weekend, guys. Last year, there wasn't as many companies out there in the trader evaluation world. This year, there's more. I suspect there'll be a lot of deals to be had. Of course, I'll be updating my website. I'll be sending out the emails, and I'll be putting up videos best I can. As I mentioned, I'm kind of like summer vacation, so I'm not completely tied up, and I'm going to make myself free best I can to put up the videos. But the first sort of place I'll be updating is my website and sending out the email, and then the videos kind of come third just because they obviously take a little bit longer to record. But looking forward to seeing what kind of deals are to be had. So that's just a little heads up there. So if you were thinking about signing up for an evaluation, today's Wednesday, I would wait till Friday, wait till the weekend, Monday. Definitely, I suspect there'll be deals out there to be had. Next point, and then we are actually going to get to some questions. Friend of the channel, Mighty Ox. I've interviewed him before. I've mentioned him before. He streams. So some people actually, even one of the comments on the post I made last night, is there any chance of me live streaming? I'm just not a live streamer. I don't enjoy it that much. I'll take that back. I actually enjoy it when I do it, but I don't like having to set up a schedule and say I'm going to stream 5 days a week or 3 days a week, and it's just tough. I like having a little bit of freedom. I go about my day. I do kind of as I please. Whatever it is, I just live streaming never really took for me. But if you enjoy the live streaming, Mighty Ox Trading live streams quite the opposite of me. He loves live streaming. He streams in the morning, he streams in the evening. So in the evenings, he streams on a platform called Sharevision, which is relatively new. It's kind of like a YouTube, but only for finance related, streamers. And just, you can put up video content as well. Ox is one of the kind of bigger streamers on there, and he's on a push to 100 followers. So he's at 94. I'm going to put a link down below. If you're so inclined, go sign up. It's free. It's all free. And give him a follow. And, don't do it just for the sake of that. I would encourage you to actually watch the stream. He's very engaging, engages with the people who are chatting along with him, and watching his trades. He trades a multitude of products, does a fantastic job, explaining what he's looking at. If you have questions, he does a great job answering them. So much more interactive on that front. So definitely recommend you check him out. He also has a YouTube channel, of course. I'll put that link down below as well. But really would love to see him hit 100 followers. Just need 6 more of you. Of course, I already follow. So if 6 of you would, get him there. I know myself as a YouTuber of sorts. It's kind of exciting to hit those milestones. So hitting 100 followers will be kind of a nice, kind of gives you that push to keep going and do even more. So if you could do that for him, that would be fantastic. Let's see. I've got a list here off the screen. I think it's question time, guys. So I actually, since there's so many questions, I picked kind of the top 5, what I think are the top 5 questions that I get the most. So I'm going to cover those first. So these are all different categories, but then we'll get to the kind of categorized ones. How do I manage multiple accounts? So it's no secret. I've funded with a ton of different companies, and I have my own account. I'm going to talk about that in a second as well. People, sometimes I want to say maybe overthinking it. Basically, if you're using NinjaTrader, you can only log into one Rhythmic instance at a time. So you cannot trade, for example, an Apex and an Earn to Trade, or a UProfit, or a Lilu at the same time. You can only be logged into one of those companies. So the short answer is if you're using NinjaTrader and you have one machine, you're limited to trading one account. Now, I do have multiple computers, but I don't take advantage of what I'm about to tell you. Myself, to answer the actual question of how do I manage the multiple accounts, I just log into one at a time. Right now, I'm actually logged into my own brokerage account. So, but like say I was logged into Apex. Maybe I do 1 or 2 trades and then I log out and then I log into whoever else, UProfit, and do a trade. I don't trade each account every single day. You don't have to. Usually the requirement, as long as you make 1 trade a week, you're good on the funded side. So I know that's the case for Earn to Trade and UProfit. Honestly, couldn't tell you the specific rules on the others just because I do trade them every week. I just don't trade them every single day. I'm not really, cherry picking them. I'm not saying, I really want to trade this account or that account. Once you get to a certain point, it's all just trading, So that's basically the short answer. I don't have some fancy setup to trade copy between all my accounts. I think some of the questions also come from people thinking, if you're trading one account and you're doing okay, you should be trading all your accounts and really making millions and millions of dollars. I'm doing just fine. I'm happy with the way I'm trading. I prefer just managing one account at a time. I did the trade copier thing in the past, and the trade copiers work well. Occasionally, I will trade copy between my own personal account and, say, Apex or UProfit. You can do that because typically your brokerage account, if you have a brokerage account, won't be a Rhythmic connection. So mine is CQG, for example. So, but then there's that. I just keep it simple. I log in, I maybe do 1 or 2 trades, and okay, I'll log out and log into another one. It's a quick, it's like a 5-second process to disconnect from one account and connect to a different one. So that answers that. So this one, when I get this question, it kind of bothers me. So the question usually, there's different versions of it, but it's people will email and they say, will you trade my account for me? Or will you somehow link my personal account or, one of my accounts to their account so basically they can replicate my trades? Usually it involves some type of profit split. They're like, hey, if I sign up for whoever, will you trade it for me and pass, and then I'll give you 50% of the profit? No, the answer is no. And I'm honestly kind of offended for a few reasons. One, why do you think that's attractive for me whatsoever? If I was going to do that, I would just sign up for my own account, another account, and trade it and get 100% of the profits that I'm making, or, the profit split. I have zero incentive to enable people who don't want to do the work, and I think that's why I get kind of pissed off when people ask me that stuff. You're just trying to be lazy. You're trying to make a quick buck off someone else's hard work. So I was going to say I'll stop short of telling those people to go fuck themselves, but honestly, if you're listening to this and that's you, go fuck yourself. You're not going to be successful in trading if you're just trying to ride off someone else's coattails. So don't send me those emails. That's a quick way to get blocked for sure, and you'll never hear from me again. Another question, would I ever start my own prop firm? So, you have all these new companies popping up. I have some problems with some of them, just in the way they go about their business, even so my background, if you follow me for a while, I come from a business background, corporate, worked in the executive level. I've worked in consulting. So I'm a bit of a stickler on things like spelling and grammar and being professional when it comes to running a business. So sometimes I see some of these companies and they do things that aren't professional. I just think, wow, if I was the customer, I would be looking at them and go, wow, who's running this? So in that regard, I think I could do a better job than some of these people. Would I ever start my own company? No. And the reason is, and again, I'm trying to keep these answers short, but I love to talk. I've I've worked, like I mentioned, for companies. I've worked in consulting. I've worked with startups. Starting a company is a lot more than just doing the fun stuff. Starting a prop firm wouldn't just be about, oh, cool, I've got all these traders and blah, blah, blah. No, it means things like business licenses and bank accounts and payroll and taxes and customer service. And what do you do when the server crashes? And like it's running a business. It's everything that's entailed. I've worked pretty hard my whole life to get to a position where I don't have to work for somebody else or have to worry about those types of things. It's why I love trading. I do it on my own time. I have no one to report to. If I don't want to trade for a week, I don't have to trade for a week. It's why I like doing the CFT. I like making the videos. I like, updating my site because it's on me. If I decide one day I was like, you know what, I don't feel like making a video today, I don't have to, and nobody can make me do it. So, as far as starting my own prop firm, I have no interest. I don't care how much money would be involved. I just don't have the interest in it. So the short answer there is no, but that's kind of the reasoning why. Number 4 of the top 5, guys. We got a lot of questions. How to practice order flow without Jigsaw. So this is a good one because sometimes I forget that Jigsaw does actually cost like some serious money. I think it's $600 US at the cheapest. It might be slightly less. I forget exactly. But I invested in Jigsaw pretty early on because when I saw it and saw it being used, I kind of knew like, yes, this is the road I want to go. And I was willing to invest that money up front. But I realized not everybody either has the means or wants to take that leap of faith, Unfortunately, they don't have a free trial. They do have a money back guarantee, so if you did buy it, I think it's 30 days and you didn't like it, you could get your money back. And I do know they refund people, like no problem, but still you have to pay for it up front. But that leads to the question, is there another way to kind of do the stuff that I do? I show all these trades and these, different columns and volume profiles and the inside bid, the inside orders, what's actually happening. And you don't get all that on just a normal depth of market. Normally you'd get the price, the limit orders on both sides, and that's it. Unfortunately, the answer to this one is I don't really know how to replicate Jigsaw a free way. I know other software can do stuff, but I haven't explored it all just because I'm kind of dedicated to Jigsaw. So I don't really have an answer to that one. Unfortunately, if you're going to get into order flow, it's going to cost some money and it's going to take some more advanced tools. And there's really only so many, really a handful of ways to kind of replicate this, and they're all going to involve money at the end of the day, I would say. So NinjaTrader I know has like a super DOM. I believe though you need to be a brokerage client or you need to pay extra. I'm kind of spinning my wheels there because I really don't know the specifics. So unfortunately I don't have a great answer to that one. I guess the best I can offer is if you really watch the order flow stuff and you're like, yes, this is 100% the way I'm going, you're going to have to invest the money. You will learn, if you're new to trading, you will learn that trading definitely costs some money, futures trading, just long term. You can get into a trader valuation relatively cheap, right? Because they give you a free copy of NinjaTrader and whatnot. But just to give you guys a quick, and again, this is like total aside from the actual question, I paid for Jigsaw up front. I have a full license of NinjaTrader, which I paid for. I pay the monthly fee on going to trade using Jigsaw, which costs $50 a month. I pay for Journalytics, which is a journaling software. I pay a data feed from my brokerage. I pay for the mobile. I'm going to get to mobile trading, but the VPS I use, I pay for that. There's a lot of costs involved in trading. But anyways, let's move on. So, yeah. Next one I get emailed this one often, and then somebody also comments. Sorry, I didn't write anybody's names down who asked the question, so I'm not trying to avoid saying your name. I just jotted the questions down really quick. Do I ever do mentorship or consulting or kind of one-on-one coaching? I don't. Let me tell you why. I always like to provide the context. Context, the big word in trading and in life. So keep in mind, I come from a consulting background. I like consulting. I think I'm pretty good at it. But right now, where I'm at, I enjoy trading and I enjoy kind of the CFT, maintaining the website, making the videos, that type of stuff. But that's kind of the extent of it. I like doing the videos because I like a video like this. Like everyone who watches it, hopefully will get something from this video, right? So if I do one-on-one coaching, then it's really just one person who benefits. And same thing, that's why I kind of do these question videos because If somebody emails me a question and I write them right back, well, that one person benefits, but no one else does. So by kind of like throwing them all out there, hopefully other people benefit from it. It's kind of the same thing with the coaching. Sure, I could probably help one-on-one with people, but it doesn't appeal to me. It also kind of lends itself to that job feeling, now I have an obligation, I'm responsible, you're paying me money, and I have to coach you whether I want to or not. So I just don't get involved in it. I'm not saying I wouldn't in the future. I could speculate and see at some point in the future, and I'm not talking this year, I'm talking way in the future, where maybe I get tired of trading. I just get tired of staring at the depth of market all day, and I say, you know what, I'd rather take everything I know and kind of teach others. I could see getting into that, but I'm not saying I would. But as far as immediate near future, unfortunately, I just don't have the interest in doing any type of consulting, coaching, mentoring. I don't need the money, all of that, So that's kind of why I don't do it. I'm not trying to deny people. I just would prefer, with the amount of time I'm willing to kind of dedicate to futures, I want to divide it up between trading myself and then doing like videos and updating the site. So let's get to the next category of questions. So those were the top kind of 5 questions I think I get. These are just some general ones that didn't really fit into other categories. Do I trade my own money? Usually this question comes with a snotty kind of comment, like, sometimes it's, you're not even a real trader. You only trade these trader evaluations. If you were good at trading, you would only trade your own money, things like that. So I do trade my own money. If these people actually followed me and watched, a lot of my videos, you might hear me reference my own account in the past. I'm currently logged into my own account, and I want to do a little demo for you, just in case there's any naysayers out there. So off the screen, you're not seeing this right now. Actually here, I'll put it on the screen, but I'm going to change it. So right here is the order box for Jigsaw, and this is the Ultra Bond, so it'll be this depth of market. I have it set right now to Sim 101. That's what I changed. So I'm going to change it to my own account, which I'm logged into, and I'm going to put on a 10 lot order for the Ultra Bond. Now I'm not looking to get filled. I'm going to put it on down here, and here, let me just move this off the screen again and switch it to my own account. So one way to tell if somebody has actually trained their own money, their own account, and the orders are actually going out to the market. And we're going to talk a little bit later about sim and live and all that stuff. But just as a quick demo, and a preface to this is I've heard in the past of kind of trading gurus, those fake ones out there who like to act like they trade big, and they're basically just collecting like thousands of dollars in like fees for people to follow them. Occasionally I'll see like on different trader forums or whatever, somebody say, you know what, I realized their orders aren't even going to the market. So that's one way, that's pretty much the easy way to tell if somebody's actually placing orders, is you should see them hit the market. So as a quick demo, I have it clicked on my own account, and I set that to 10 lots, right? So on the Ultra Bond, let's just pick a number down here. I'm going to put a limit order to buy 10 more contracts here. You will see the 40 change to 50, because now all of a sudden my 10 order is on the market. So as long as nobody else changes it, but let's do it real quick here. And there you go. You see it changed to 50, and there's my 10 lot, and as soon as I cancel this, down to 40. That is an order which actually went to the live market, and that's how you can tell. You can do it anywhere. I don't know why I feel the need to justify this. 45, as soon as I cancel it, 35. There you go. So I do trade my own money to thwart the naysayers who think I don't, and I actually have a little bit more. So yesterday was actually a remarkable day trading, and I was trading my own account. Really caught some nice runs in Ultra Bond, also did a little crude trading. So let me bring that up. I thought one way I could share this is show my statement. So I'm not going to show the whole daily statement. When you trade your own brokerage account, the brokerage will send you a daily statement kind of summarizing your trading activity and your balance and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to show the whole statement because it has like my full name and address and account number and all that stuff. But I did do screenshots of the trades themselves. Now, these are going to be boring to look at, but I just kind of want to prove the point. So here you can see 6:28:22. The times are in GMT, so these are all kind of weird. This is crude oil. I did some crude oil trades. It shows your buy quantity, sell quantity, the prices, order ID, and then my gross profit. So I made $2,110 for trading crude oil yesterday. I'll mention too, and this will really apply on the Ultra Bond ones, which I'm going to show you. It looks like I did a lot of little one-lot trades. if you were actually watching me trade, I was really trading like 2 lots essentially. But, I enter like one contract at a time, and you can kind of tell by the times here, right? It's 12, 11, and 1 second, and 2 seconds. So these were like one right after the other that they got filled. And same thing getting out. It looks like I got out on one. Oh no, I got out on both at the same time. So this looks like a bunch of trades, but really I would consider this, one trade. I entered for 2 contracts, I got out for 2 contracts. So just to show that. Then I have 3 screenshots of Ultra Bond because I trade the Ultra Bond quite more. So same thing here. You see like 110410, but you see a lot of them. So this was a 6 lot, trade. It's just it got filled one at a time. So that's what that is. And I'll just scroll through. So we did a bunch of Ultra Bond trading, a bunch more Ultra Bond trading. And then this was the last page. It had my account number, so I zipped it out. I did a screenshot and I put it on YouTube, and at that point I was at like 6,800 or something, or maybe 69, I can't remember. I actually ended up doing one more trade after that. That was this final trade for 5 lots. It looks like I went short first and then I filled. So I made just over $5,000 yesterday trading the Ultra Bond in my own brokerage account. So if someone would like to make little snippy comments about I don't trade my own money, I would love to see your brokerage account and see how much money you make. Nonetheless, guys, you can tell some people piss me off, and I'm nice to most people, but guys, the ones that really get under my skin, I like to give it to them. So let's move on. I do trade my own money, to answer the question. My website does not, moving on to the next question, my website does not display properly in Firefox. I get this comment quite often. I kind of know what's wrong with it. I've tried to fix it. I haven't been able to. I probably should just pay someone some money to fix it. I didn't realize there's this many people that use Firefox, honestly. It works fine in Chrome. It works in Safari. It works in Brave browser. It works on my phone, which I guess is, I use the Chrome browser, so it's still Chrome. That's usually what I tell people. I'm like, I know it doesn't work in Firefox, use a different browser. Like, it comes up blank. I think the header is on there, but none of the content down on the body. So if you happen to be seeing this video and you're like, CFT, I can never access your website, well, try a different browser, and I will put on my to-do list to actually fix that. The third thing I had on my list was actually show orders hitting the book, but I kind of jumped the gun there, and I already showed you that. So that was just where I put on the 10 lot and kind of showed you that it actually executes on, the market. Let's move on, guys. I need to slow down. I'm running out of breath. So Jigsaw questions. I only have 2, so hang in there with me. Somebody asked the other day about resetting the volume profile. So actually, we're going to see this in about 20 minutes. I should save this one, but I'll talk about it now, and then when it happens, I'll make reference of it. So the U.S. market opens in 20 minutes at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. When that happens, all of my data for Jigsaw will clear out. Now, I have it set specifically to do that. You can have it set to not do that and just keep the overnight session, but it'll clear out all the previous trades and starts fresh. That's how I like it. If you want a quick how to do that, you go to your settings, and you do set it on each individual DOM. So I could do it on this one and not on this one, for example. So you could technically have 2 Ultra Bonds up, have one that shows all the overnight action and one that doesn't, once the new session starts. It's right under the settings, parameters, reset on new session. So new session meaning the US session opens, boom, all the data gets cleared out. And there you go. That's the quick answer to that. Trailing stop versus static. Let me switch my account back to the sim, only because I don't want to show my account number. I'm super careful with that stuff, so that's why I'm showing you on sim. Otherwise, it has my full account number in this little box. In some of my videos, the kind of futures course videos, I'm doing trading, and somebody asked about the stop and how I made it trail. And like normal, I have this off the screen, so you're not seeing what I'm doing down here with this. I keep it off screen mainly just to, well, 1, because it shows my account number, and 2, it's just more clutter. And usually all I'm doing is just setting the quantity on here. But you can have the option to trail. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to enter a trade. This is sim, so it works out well to be sim. I'm just going to go long. So if I put a stop on now, this is a 10 lot stop, and I'm in for 10 contracts. You can see that here. This is just static. It's not going to trail. So if the price, kind of hoping the price would take off, upwards, I can move this around, but it's not going to trail on its own. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to click this trail. So when it's highlighted in yellow, and this is how many ticks behind it will trail. So now if I put a stop and the price goes up, this will trail. And it's as simple as that. That's how you can enable a trailing stop or just have a static stop that you manually manage. And you can still manually manage this. You know, I can move this closer if I want. The price would have to move 5 more ticks away before it starts to trail again. And I think also if I move this down here, as soon as a trade happens, there you go. It jumps right up. It's like, okay, I need to be, 5 ticks behind, and there's your trail. So I'm just going to hit flat on this. So there's kind of a trailing stop versus a static one. I do use both. It depends on the situation. My favorite word, context, depends on what's going on. If things are really moving fast, I'll sometimes put on a trailing stop, because if it bumps way up and then pulls back, I want that stop to be right there with it, and it might happen before I can manually do it. If it's just a slower moving market, sometimes I like to manually manage. I want to finesse, where it's at. So each person to do their own. Let's take a quick water break here. That's refreshing. Drink your water, guys. Okay, next topic, mobile trading. There's only 2 questions here, too. So I tried to do the shorter categories first. Then we're going to get into trader evaluations and trading questions. Mobile trading. These things actually go hand in hand. There's really two questions, but they're really the same answer. So I'm a Mac user. The questions I often get are, how do you trade from your Mac? Because things like NinjaTrader or Jigsaw are Windows only. And another question I get is, how can I trade from my phone, mobile, tablet, whatever? And the answer I have for you is to use a VPS. Now, I use Ninja Mobile Trader. I will just show you on my site under software. If you go to Ninja Mobile Trader, I have a whole write-up about it and how it works. But basically, it gives you the ability to trade mobile. Yes, the name is Ninja Mobile Trader, but it's not a Ninja Trader product. But it's a VPS, but you can use NinjaTrader on it, obviously, because it's just you're VPSing into a Windows machine. Now, you can use that VPS from your phone, from your tablet, or from your Mac, or from a Windows computer, too. When I first signed up, I was like, okay, this will be cool, and this will be nice. It's actually been really great for a few reasons. One, it puts all the stress of running the software on their servers, not my computer, because my desktop's totally fine, but my laptop's, it's not like the greatest, there's definitely a slowdown when I have everything running. So this way, all I'm doing is I'm VPSing into a remote computer, which is doing the heavy lifting on the software. The other thing is I use a laptop and I use a desktop. This way, I just have one desktop setup, right? I'm remoting into the exact same computer, regardless of whether I'm on my desktop, my laptop, my phone. I don't do trading on my phone, but I know some people like to or don't have an option. Maybe you're at work, whatever the case might be. So a VPS would be a solution. I use Ninja Mobile Trader. It is more expensive than a normal VPS. It's supposedly faster. They're located right across from the CME group, or from CME in Chicago, and all of that. I pay for it. Again, it's something that costs money. But you could also just use a general VPS and get, a decent connection and install your NinjaTrader and all that stuff on your VPS and remote into that. So that's how you can trade from a Mac or tablet. There's other ways to trade from a Mac. I don't want to go down that road too much. What I used to do is you install a virtual machine on your Mac, a Windows virtual machine. I used Parallels Desktop. I think there's at least one other one. I want to say it's called Windows VMware or something like that. I forget exactly. And then, so you install a virtual machine on your computer. Then on that virtual machine, you can install NinjaTrader, blah, blah, blah. But that's where I was running into the issue. Now you're running not just NinjaTrader and Jigsaw, you're running a virtual Windows machine, and that's eating up resources. So I'm a fan of the VPS solution. Let's see. Okay, trader evaluation questions. Quite a few here. I'm going to try to zip through some of the just quicker hits. So somebody asked if, you can buy multiple accounts with a lot of these companies. Somebody asked, do you have to buy different sizes? Like, can you only have one, say, 25K and one 50K? No, you can have 10 25Ks if you want. They don't care. So whatever size you want them to be. Okay. I'll go through one of the other quick hits. They're kind of out of order here. But do the discounts work anywhere in the world, and I say an additional question to that is just, can you sign up for these various companies? I'm talking about trader valuations, Apex, Lilu, UProfit, Earn a Trade, etc. Can you sign up anywhere in the world, and or do the discounts work anywhere in the world? Yes, I know some companies have like limitations on a few countries, but very few, and they're kind of like those, I don't know how to describe them. Whatever they are, you go to the site, but chances are if you think they will accept you, they will accept you. You can always email support. I'm a big fan of that. Email their support if you ever are in doubt. That would be another way to find out. Let's see. Okay, so these next two questions go hand in hand. If you're in a funded account, so you pass the evaluation, you're funded, and let's say you're 2 weeks in, what happens if you decide, and you make a bunch of money, you decide to close your account? So when you sign your contract with any of the companies, 1, please read it. 2, look for the section that will tell you the payout schedule. Now, I'm talking beyond the normal payout schedule, like Apex, you can only withdraw, once a month, and etc. Same with Lilu, earn trades once a week. You're looking for a section that says if you close your account like kind of prematurely, what's your payout like? And basically they penalize you, because what people think they're going to do is they think, okay, well, I'm capped. Let's just use Apex as an example. I'm capped with Apex. I can only withdraw, I don't even know the exact amount. It depends on the account size. Let's say it's $2,500. I'm capped at $2,500 for the first 3 months as a max withdrawal. What if I just made a bunch of money and closed my account? They have to pay me at all. No, they do not, because you need to read your contract. They realize people will try to do this. They're trying to build long-term relationships. They're not looking for quick hit and run type traders. So in that scenario, you're probably getting like 20%. It will be in your contract, like kind of the tiers or the stages, like after whatever, 30 days, you would be entitled to 30%. After 50, and at some point it would be 100%, but then just like under the 80-20, or sorry, with Apex, it's 90-10 split. I know that might be a bit confusing. Basically, if you're trying to circumvent the system and like take all your money out early, it's not going to work. How about that? As well, kind of the same question is, what happens if you break a rule? So you're in a funded account, you're 3 weeks in, you break a rule, but you made a bunch of money. Same thing, you'll get paid out, but it's going to be at whatever that withdrawal policy is that's in your contract. So read the contract. An aside to this is, twice in the near recent past, I've seen people who completely bitched up a storm, either at me or online, because they broke a rule, and they said, I didn't know this was a rule, this is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. I went to my contract, and not only was it clearly stated once, it was clearly stated 3 times, and was on the company's website, the rule that the person broke. It had to do with, I mentioned earlier, some companies have to do at least 1 trade a week, right? This person hadn't traded in a month, and they closed his account, and he was mad as hell. Well, it says I think it's in 3 places in the contract, and is on their website, that you must place at least 1 trade a week to keep your account active. Like, I don't feel sorry for people who don't want to take responsibility for actually reading the stuff that they're signing. So that's kind of where I would draw that line. So read your contracts that you're signing. Anyways, a little aside there. Guys, let's get on to the next question. Tax forms. I get a lot of tax questions, obviously, like anything in life. I'm no tax expert. I don't want to tell people what to do with their taxes. The brief, so the questions are all over the board, am I taxed as capital gains? Am I taxed as ordinary income? If I don't live in the U.S., what tax forms do I get? How do I report my taxes? Blah, 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 blah. All kinds of stuff. The very short answer is, if you live in the U.S., you will be a 1099 contractor. You will be paid as ordinary income. You will get a 1099 form. When you pass and you do all the paperwork, you provide the documents to, state that you're a contractor. If you live outside the United States, like myself, you will also fill in a form. Basically, though, that form, and it's an IRS form, but it goes to the company, that form is really something they are just keeping on file that proves that you don't live in the U.S. and that they aren't responsible for, and I mean they, the company, let's say Apex, isn't responsible for sending you tax documents, because you don't live in the U.S. and you don't pay U.S. taxes. So I will fill out a form. I think it's W8BEN. that basically says, hey, I live in Canada, here's my name, here's my address. Apex or all these companies are going to be paying me, but I don't live in the US, so they're not responsible for sending me tax documents. It is then my responsibility in my own home country to pay taxes on the money that they pay me. And that's what that is. As far as, like, I get questions, should I set up an LLC? Should I do, like, guys, your own tax questions? You're going to have to spin your wheels with a tax expert on those. Let's see. Can you use a trade copier to trade in multiple evaluation accounts? This kind of goes back to one of those top 5 questions I had. It basically actually is kind of the same question. So no, I'm on one machine. No, I kind of already addressed this. With NinjaTrader, not, you can only be logged into one Rhythmic account at a time. How do I handle them? I log into one account at a time. You could, if you traded over a network to different computers, or you could use software that does allow multiple Rhythmic connections. QuantTower is a free one. Supposedly it works well. I believe it has a built-in trade copier. I've never used it. I've never downloaded it, so I don't know anything about it, but people speak highly of it, but it's obviously no NinjaTrader. So that would be a way, but basically, can you use a trade copier to trade multiple funded accounts from different companies on one machine? No, you cannot. Let's see. Somebody asked me the next question. Should I reset or should I sign up for a new evaluation? Now, this is one that really depends on what evaluation you're in and how much it costs now, and what the cost of reset is, obviously, and where you're at in the process. If you are, let's say you sign up for $300K at 50% off and it costs you $300 something and you break a rule on day 2. Yeah, I would probably reset, because the reset's only going to cost you whatever, $85 or whatever it is. But if you're on day, like if you're billing, like say you're, 25 days into the month, and in 5 days your billing's going to renew anyway, it doesn't make sense to reset knowing that you're going to go through another monthly billing anyways, if that makes sense. So you just kind of have to figure out where you're at in the month and what account size it is too. If you're trading at 25K and you paid less than $80 for it, and the deal's still going on and you broke a rule, you're better off just canceling the account and signing up. Like, pick the cheaper one. So depends on where you're at, what size, the price, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. So the next two don't go together. Okay, so live accounts, sim accounts, moving to live, etc. Just 20 million questions about those. The general gist, if you don't know, so when you go through the evaluation, you're on sim. So like here, I'm on my NinjaTrader sim account. So my orders, if you're in sim, don't go to the market. You're using real market data, but your orders aren't actually hitting the market. You're trading a simulated environment. I think everybody gets that. Once you get funded, most companies these days, I would say, now it varies by company, but you start off on a sim account. You're, in quotes, funded, but you're trading sim. A lot of people have a problem with that. Personally, as long as the company pays, I don't care if they are like making hand notes with crayons on my trades, as long as they pay me out. And I've had no issue being paid out by any of the companies that are on my website. So what they will, I would say in general, again, this varies by company, but in general do is they put you on sim once you're pass. Unfortunately, a lot of people blow up their accounts. See, a lot of people go in, they YOLO the evaluation, they pass. They think they're an ace trader, they get their performance account, their funded account, whatever, and they do the exact same move, and it eventually catches up to you and you blow your account. So it's a lot of work to set somebody up with an actual funded live account. So since, whatever the stat is, I don't know the exact stat, but let's say it's 80% of the people who get a funded account blow it in the first month, I too would probably keep most people on sim. Let them prove themselves. Once you kind of prove yourselves, then companies will move you to an actual live account. Some companies have a specific kind of goalpost on when that happens, like earn to trade. Others don't. It's like at their discretion. If you don't like that, shop around and find one that works for you. I don't know what to tell people. Like I said, I've had no problems with any of the companies, so however they want to handle their business, I understand why they do it that way. I get why people don't like it at the same time. That's the gist of how it is. I can't, convince you otherwise. But that's basically it. So yeah, when you get funded, and I put funded in quotes, a lot of times you might still just be on sim for a while and then get moved to live. So I think it's time for a water break. So next question was on my post that I put up. Are payouts capped? And capped in the sense that, you have a 50K account. Once you make 50K, they close your account. No, not at all. There has been stories in the past, like I know, for example, Lilu, I think most people know the story, but Lilu actually did cap Daryl Martin and shut him down after hang on, before we get to that, guys, breaking news. You just saw my DOM. It is 8:20 a.m. Eastern. All the data deleted because the U.S. session has just begun. So there you go. Lilu basically capped Daryl Martin because he was making a ton of money. I can't remember if they just flat out closed his accounts or basically said you can't make any more, whatever it was. That's why he kind of went on to start his own company. So most companies don't do that. And there is no set in stone rule as to that stuff. So no. So the short answer is no, that you're not capped on the amount that you can make and then like your accounts are closed. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to even kind of say about that. I already talked about, they might move you to an actual live account, if you make a certain amount or you demonstrate proficiency and all that type of stuff. But no, there's no, make 50K and then your account is closed type of thing. You have to realize these companies are looking to build long-term relationships with successful traders. Believe it or not, and, contrary to what some people say, you always get the sour apples out there who are like, these companies just want to make money off you and nobody passes. Well, I'd beg you to watch more of my videos because I've done withdrawals from all these companies. I've had zero issues on getting paid. And there's not much more I can say. Usually the people complaining are the ones who just aren't successful and they want to put the blame on someone else and take ownership of your own issues. There you go. a little more shade, a few more shots fired to the crowd. Let's get on to trading questions. So these are trading specific. So somebody had asked, I think it was a comment on a different video, how do I handle the whipsaw in the Ultra Bond? So I'm not going to go into a full tutorial on Ultra Bond. I put out plenty of videos. I will say, so the free course I made in December has like examples of the trade setups that I look for. I plan on doing more videos showing more examples. I don't necessarily have any different trade setups, but I can give you more examples and kind of talk you through. I think a problem a lot of people are running into is they are really wanting kind of an indicator-based trading system, and that's not what I'm doing. It isn't when when A and B happen, you do C. It's not like when MACD crossover happens, you go long. When RSI does this, you do that. Like, it isn't like that. This is very contextual. It depends on the day, the current situation, how we got here. Like right now, I wouldn't be looking to take a trade. You might be saying, oh, CFT, this is like a perfect break low. Maybe, but also there's almost next to no trading activity at this point. The market opened 2 minutes ago. I'm not going to take a risk on that. I wait for, and maybe this is going into a little other trading information, but I'm very patient. I wait. I'm holding back because I'm answering questions out of order, if you will. But basically, to get back to what the actual question is, how do you handle the whipsaw of the Ultra Bond? I'm using the 10-year as kind of my indicator on what's happening. I'm looking for specific trade setups, and I'm executing on the Ultra Bond. So I'm not too worried about the whipsaw. I also run fairly, if trade goes 2-3 ticks against me, I'm out, just eat the loss. That's how you handle the whipsaw. I'm only entering when there is a very strong case to enter. So I'm not suffering through a lot of whipsaw because I'm not just jumping in and out of trades. And I think that was another question actually, but do I ever look at charts? I'm going to show you guys. So here's like my NinjaTrader. I do not trade off of charts whatsoever. I might look at a chart when I first start the day just to see what's happened. Let's take a look, see, where we're at. Okay, this tells me nothing. Great. Let me go back to my depth of market. Like, I really don't care. Charts, and I know most people are chart traders, and that's great, and you can put all your indicators on, and whatever. But the the chart is telling me what happened in the past. Order flow trading is much more trading what is happening right now. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not saying it's just a different style of trading. It's what appeals to me. I don't expect everyone to like order flow trading. Just so if it appeals to you, great. I think there's money to be made, but chart trading doesn't appeal to me. So, but to answer the question, no, I don't really look at charts. Again, I might take a cursory look just to see what's happened, but that's it. Like the chart's put away for the day. Now we're just trading off of these. So is there any product that's easier for beginners and the person was trading NQ and ES? I would say you're doing yourself a disservice trading NQ. Some people might disagree. Some people really like all the equity indices. NQ can be pretty tough. NQ eats a lot of people up. I traded NQ for a very short while, and I was like, this is way too roller coastery. I will mention too, I know this isn't the question, but those ES maybe, but NQ definitely doesn't lend itself well to depth of market trading, DOM, all this order flow stuff. Like it's just all over the place. Like I wouldn't be able to watch a NQ depth of market and have the price flying up and down and all over and be able to make any informed decision. So, products that are easier than NQ and ES to trade for newbie, I would say not NQ. If I was you, I would stick with ES, or honestly, just explore. Find a product that speaks to you. I found the treasuries, they spoke to me. A lot of people don't like the treasuries. They move relatively slow, but I like them because they have a big per tick value, so you don't need a lot of ticks to make a lot of money. But they're boring. People who do like action and like trading and getting in and out of trades a lot are probably bored with this. So I would say just explore the different products. I would say ES is probably the most popular product that people trade, and NQ. Treasuries, I feel like they're picking up steam. I'm seeing some people saying they're trading the treasuries lately, which I like to see. If you want a really slower moving market, you could trade like the agriculture markets, like corn. Not going to be exciting, but they're slow and might be a good way to just get your feet, under you and learn, about whatever placing or like if the very basic fundamentals. You could also trade micros, so trade like micro ES, smaller value. So again, you're not getting penalized as badly if you make bad choices. But explore the different products. Like look at the category list on CME Group and see what's available and check with the evaluation company and see what products are actually allowed. Like for example, a lot of them don't allow. Most of them don't allow micro like crypto, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So make sure you're allowed to trade what you want to trade. But if you want something really slow, go with agricultures or like the 10-year treasury, like in the middle of my screen. Have I ever tried anything other than Jigsaw? Not really for trading. I mean, I've used Trade-Evade. I actually have a Trade-Evade brokerage account as well. Trade-Evade making a bit of headway in terms of being available to traders and trader evaluations because they were bought by NinjaTrader, but that's a whole side. No, when it comes to, I use Trade-Evade in my own account, but then NinjaTrader and Jigsaw is all I've ever used. Jigsaw is exactly what I need for how I'm trading, so I don't have a need to go try other software. That kind of answers the question. Like, I mean, I've seen other software and I've seen it in action, but for what I'm doing, Jigsaw is exactly kind of the tools I need. So, number of trades during a trading session. Typically, I would say between 1 and 5 would be a normal day. I trade 8 a.m. to about noon Eastern time, so right before the treasury market opens until about lunchtime, and that's it. And yeah, I just look for trade setups. If there's none, I mean, there might be days where there's 0 trades. I would say there's usually at least 1 trade, but maybe 5. 5 would be a busy day. I think yesterday I did. I know, going back to that screenshot I did of all those trades, I kind of mentioned at the beginning on showing the crude oil, like it looks like a lot of contracts on a lot of trades, but really they were like 1 trade, but it breaks it down by each individual contract. So really I did do a lot of ultra bond trades yesterday. I just did a lot of contracts in a handful of trades. I think it was like 5 trades. I could be off, but it looked like a lot more. So point is, yes, 0 to 5 trades. I don't do a lot. I wait. I'm patient. And this kind of goes into, I think it was the same person who asked this question. It might have been someone else. Anyways, have I always been disciplined, or did I have to overcome the urge to just trade, in and out, in and out? And if that is the case, how did I overcome that urge? So I wasn't always disciplined. I started like everybody. I love trading. I want to trade as much as I could, trade the evenings, trade the morning, trade the afternoon, jumping in and out anytime, there looked like there was any hint of a possibility I was in and out of a trade. I overcame that when the more I started looking at my statistics, and you start seeing things like, you spend 8 hours trading and you're nowhere for it. And then you start analyzing your trades and you realize, I could have did without 80% of these trades. If I just focused on the few really good ones, I'd be profitable. You see that enough times, you get burned enough times, it eventually just, for me, it just I was like, okay, no, I need to change. I need to change my style. It's kind of weird, I would say, because I remember specifically going from trading a lot to trading a little, and you feel like you're missing out. But really, you got to teach yourself you're not. You're just making better choices. So kind of evolved into being more disciplined. As far as for how individuals to overcome it, like I said, I did it by actually digging into my statistics and looking. Another way would be just try it. Seriously, for a week, just say, you know what? I'm only going to take 5 trades a day, and I have to wait, and they damn well better be good trades, because I only get 5, or, however you want to approach it. But that would be my recommendation. Force yourself, set yourself up for a little competition against yourself of, I'm only going to take 5 trades, so I have to wait for the perfect setup. And, because I only give myself 5, and once I make 5 trades, I have to shut down. So you're not chasing every single trade, that would be one way to overcome it. And just shut down, literally shut your computer down, close the trading software, don't even be tempted. And do it just for a week, just commit to it for a week, because then you can say, okay, you know what, if you don't have the discipline to do it for a week, you're going to have a real tough time. So, part of the magic formula, the witchcraft of trading, is definitely discipline, and, you kind of have to teach yourself sometimes. I did too. I'm not saying I'm above any of this. I had to teach myself all of this stuff. So that is that. Do I trade the news, or is it too risky? I generally don't. I would say it's too risky for what I'm doing. I just kind of went off on my long spiel about how I only do, up to 5 trades a day, only trade the morning session. I'm happy with the way I trade. I don't need to run in the casino known as a news event, FOMC, and see if I can make a lot of money. I'm happy grinding it out, doing what I'm doing, and it's working out quite well. So I don't want to take that risk on the news event. Not saying I haven't. If I did, it would be a totally different style of trading. I would seriously probably be looking for a run in one direction. I'd be jumping on that train, and I would have a very relatively tight stop that's trailing. Because, the prices just spike, right? Up or down, back and forth, whatever. So I would definitely, if you're going to trade, trade the news however you want. If I was personally to trade the news, and I haven't for a while, that's what I do. I wait to see kind of hopefully one direction. I'm using market orders. I'm jumping in, and I have an automatic trailing stop pop on behind that. And that's basically it. So I already mentioned the next thing I wrote down. So all the trade setups that I put on my course, I'm going to do additional videos. I also mentioned I'm kind of on vacation, so it's honestly probably not going to happen in the next month, but I will. I'll try to record more trading. That was my actual original intention yesterday, just the audio was totally screwed up. So I am going to try to get back to recording more trading videos where I just talk about trading. And that's kind of the nice thing about doing this video. I know it's super long, but I kind of get all the questions out of the way. And then so when I do a trading video, I can just focus on trading and talking through trading. So, but we'll do more videos clarifying a lot of the trade setups that I do. Let's see. What did I write down here? We're almost there, guys. We're almost done. So this wasn't so much a question, but something I just want to tack on, and I kind of did mention it already, but just, trading, the way I see it, again, all this is my opinion. There's probably people out there who's like, CFT doesn't know what he's talking about, stupid guy uses depth of market like it's 1980. That's cool. I'm doing just fine. Context is the word of the day, the word of the year, it's the word of the trading, and patience and discipline, all these, kind of, buzzwords that you hear, but they're buzzwords for a reason. Being patient and kind of discipline and helps a lot. And then a lot of what I'm doing is the context of what's happening in the market. So like just sitting here watching the depth of market, I mean, I might not be laser focused on watching it, for hours on end, but I have it up. I'm kind of seeing, I'm like, okay, what's happening? What's kind of the pace? What's the velocity of the market? How's it moving? How's the ebb and flow happening? Let that all absorb and kind of sink in. And it almost becomes second nature. Little Zen-like, little, use the force type of thing. Like a lot of times it's not so much about looking at the DOM and going, okay, this is happening and this is happening, so I'm going to do this. Like that's very mechanical and kind of forced, I would say. Instead, it's more just watch it. You'll know. Like good trades pop out when they start. And when the good trade doesn't go good, you get out. Okay, I read that wrong. And you get out and you move on to the next trade. Doesn't matter. You had 3 losers in a row. As long as you kept them small, doesn't matter. You move on to the next one. It is a bit of a numbers game, and it's also this marathon. Again, to use more cliches, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Not every day is going to be an amazing day. Yesterday happened to be an amazing day. That's part of the reason why I want to show my screenshots. It just happened to be also I was making videos, so this was great timing. But not every day is a $7,000 day. Believe me, that is like a remarkable day. There's days that are loser days. Maybe I'll show you one of those screenshots as well. But getting back to the point, and I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm glad we're towards the end of the questions. How you get good at this stuff, if you're interested in order flow, it's a lot of practice. Picking up on stuff. Pick up on stuff I do, but pick up on stuff that all the other YouTubers do that kind of show order flow. Like I learned from John Grady, I learned from Jigsaw, Peter Davies, Axia, Futures. Like everybody has a different style within even the order flow, markets. So pick up on what they're doing and make it your own. That's what I did. So. And practice, and you can practice in sim and just watch and be patient. It takes a while. It's kind of a lifelong endeavor, I guess, like to kind of get good at the stuff. So anyways, that's my advice to you. And that actually, I basically went on a long rambling tangent that actually addressed the final point that I had written down just about how to get good at all this stuff. So yeah, everybody has a different learning style. I get that as well. The cool thing about futures, and I say this often in the little interviews I was doing, the awesome thing about the futures market is you have a huge selection of products. They all move in different ways. They all have different tick sizes. There's different softwares you can choose from. There's different styles of trading. So it really is like a buffet where you can pick and choose what makes you happy. So I like order flow. I like trading the treasuries. I like trading the US session. There's my buffet plate, but somebody else might like trading, or maybe they don't have the option. Maybe they work all day, so they have to trade the evening session. That's fine. You're kind of forced into the evening session, and maybe you like using charts and whatever. So, each person can kind of do their own. And because of that, they like a faster moving product because, in the evenings, a fast moving product in the day is more tempered in the evening. So it's kind of up to each person to figure that out for themselves. And that's kind of part of the journey of trading, I would say, to get a little bit more Yoda-like. Guys, I think it's time to end this video. 1, because I'm out of questions. 2, my voice is like on the verge of just completely cutting out. I'm going to put this together, get it up today. Guys, trader valuations, big deals this weekend, so I'll be definitely doing videos on those. Going to record some trading videos. I want to tomorrow, but I'll see if I have time. If I don't, definitely next week I will do some trading videos. I was going to say those are my favorite thing to do, but really I love doing it all. Kind of like I said earlier, I love doing this stuff. That's why I do it. And that's why I stick to the videos and to my website and all that type of stuff. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this whole thing, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back, an extra tip of the hat to you. And I will see you guys in the next video.